Today's lesson, we are going to be doing a landscape with mountains in the background and tulips. Now I'm using this picture as reference. I got this picture from CaminoMyWay.com, and this is a picture of a tulip festival in Chilliwack, Canada. And so I want to use this as my inspiration, and I will link his site below, and I know he's on Instagram as well. Try to get this so you can see it really well. And so I want to use this as our inspiration image. I'm going to kind of edit out the trees and the barns and the structures and probably make another couple rows of tulips just so we focus more on the tulips and the mountains. And so we're going to start with the sky, and if you look and if you can see, beneath all of the rows of tulips and beneath all of the colors is greenery, and that's from the stems and from the leaves and everything. And so we're going to start by using a green base for our underpainting, basically. And then, so we'll do green and blue for our sky. And then after we're done kind of settling in some of the tulips, we'll come through and make our mountains and our peaks and our clouds. And so it's going to be really pretty. So let's start. We're going to kind of use some of our methods that we learned in our color theory with our color wheel. And so we're going to make some green. I'm going to mix up, let's see, I'm just gonna put some of my colors on my palette. So we'll be using blue today and yellow. Like I said, these are acrylic paints. Nothing is sponsored. They're just kind of some of the paints that I like to use or are available in my area. We've got some orange. The colors don't matter a ton. You can make up any of the colors that you need because we know how to mix colors now, right? And so got some of those, some red. I've got our primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and then some orange. Let's see, I need to get my painting rag here. And then I want a little bit of whoop, or a lot of it. The pink is wanting to come on out today. It still had the plastic thing on there, and so I should have just taken the plastic wrapper off, but I was trying to be faster and that didn't really work for me, did it? So take your time. So let's see. So I've got some bright pinks, orange, red. I think those, let's see, in our inspiration picture, there's some bright pinks, orange, red, and yellow. So we'll take those colors from our inspiration. And then we've got our blue for our sky and our mountains. We're gonna make green, and let's put a little bit of white in here for good measure, because we can always use white in this project. Okay, so we just need to make up some green. I'm going to start with my lighter color and then bring in my darker color. I'm going to get a titch of white. I just need to mix up some more because we'll be using quite a bit of green. And I like where we're going with this color green. It's a good, well, if I could get some more white, my technique wasn't working right there. Okay. It's a little, let's see. It's a little too blue. I need some more yellow. Okay. I'm gonna mix that a little bit more. Okay, now I'm just gonna come in. It doesn't have to be super precise. I kind of want to do, honestly, I'm thinking I want to do with, there's something in art called the rule of thirds. And so if we divide this long piece up by thirds, then it would look better to the eye if I had the tulips either on 2/3 or on 1/3. And so I'm thinking that it would be better if we kept it on 1/3 and then we had the mountains behind and we have the sky on the last third. So we have kind of the background on the top 2/3 and then we've got the tulips on the bottom third. So I am just going to kind of guesstimate, let's see if we say that is a third right there, then this would be kind of roughly another third. So we're going to come in, and you don't have to be super precise because it's a landscape and there are hills and there are valleys, but this is just going to be our under painting for our tulips, because under tulips are going to be all of the stems and the leaves. The one thing that we want to try to learn from this lesson is that we don't want to cut our page right in half. It's going to look nicer if we keep it to 1/3. So if you wanted to come in with a little bit of white in through here, that would be just fine. If you had another color green, that would be just fine. There's no one right way to do it. It's however you'd like. Okay, so that's looking good. Now I do have my 2 different water cups. I've got this one for my cool colors and this one for my warm colors, or vice versa, but I'm going to be using this one for cool colors. So I'm just going to mix out that green paint. And I've got my paint rag here, or my brush rag. So I want to come in, I'm going to use a different paintbrush. And I'm also going to get, since I've got so much going on this palette right now, I'm just going to come in and grab another smaller palette. Nothing fancy, just a little bit. Let's see, I've got white paint on here already. And so I'm going to bring my white paint over here. I'm coming! Okay. Just gonna mix that paint. I want it to be a nice kind of light blue color. We can blend in the sky and the tulips. No problem. And you can be scruffy with your brush. Bring in some texture. Let's get some more paint. You can try painting with the other hand. Just gonna kind of come in. Need a little bit more, so we'll just come in here and make a little bit more paint. Fill in. Okay. Now, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's see. Can you hand me that towel, please? Okay. I'm gonna come back in here with some green and just kind of fill in some scruffy over there. Just so it looks like the land is over the mountain. Okay. Now comes the fun part, and we're going to start in with our tulips. Now, you can do this in any number of ways. You could have some little round brushes and let's see. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of divide them into rows, and so you could have a round brush and just kind of come through and create your dots, and these are our tulips, and then you kind of want them to be a little bit all over, neatly all over the place. So you can either do that with a dry, make sure it's dry because it'll be more stiff. I've got my youngest over here with us, and he's sitting here with me and watching me paint. Truth be told, he's not too happy about it today, but we do the best we can, don't we? Okay, or another way you can do it is, what about a pencil that doesn't have the eraser or any useful eraser anymore? You can dip that into your paint.
Dip that into.
Yep, and you can use what was supposed to be the eraser.
Eraser?
Yeah, eraser for your paint.
What eraser?
You could even use your pinky. You could use a Q-tip. Remember we did our cherry blossoms with Q-tips?
Yeah.
And that was fun to be able to paint with something other than a paintbrush. Now I want a little bit of that to show through, but not a lot.
Mom.
Not a lot of the green. I want a little bit of the green to show through, but not a ton. Because really, we're mostly tulips. ready to put in our or not clouds, our mountain line. And so I'm going to take some dark blue, because see how that color, see, like we've got this color that's going pretty well with the sky, but then we need a bit of a darker blue color. And so I'm gonna put down some dark blue. This happens to be phthalo blue, but just a darker blue will work. And I'm gonna put in a little bit of white as well. And hopefully, yeah, you'll be able to see me. I'm gonna put some white over here in another well. And so then I'll be able to mix that a bit better. Now I know that we have not put in our last row of tulips, but I want to be able to put in our mountain line and paint our mountains, so then I can come back through and do our last layer and just have little snippets in between the mountain and the tulips. So I'm going to get a little bit of white to put in with this blue. Just lighten it up just a touch. That's even a little bit too much for me. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of our mixed paint, and mostly blue, the pure blue straight out of the bottle. And then I'm just going to kind of follow this line. So here we've got a peak. Now you don't have to follow the line at all if you don't want to. I think I'm going to kind of edit out this little section right here. And so I'm just going to start from here. And so I'm going to say, okay, we're coming up like this. And we're just trying to get the essence of the mountain. It doesn't have to look exactly like it. But I'm just wanting to get kind of what it's like just a little bit. Now I'm over here. Just like that. I'm going to make that a little bit more straight peaked. See, and I'm just tapping my brush. I don't want to make any fine lines. I just want to come in and have that just kind of start to have an illusion that that is a mountain line. I'm just getting our mixed blue and a little bit of the blue straight out of the bottle. Now I can come in and clean up those lines. Just a little bit. And then I like the way it looks with some of our mixed blue and our blue straight out of the bottle, to kind of come in and paint in through here. Now with these sections, I like to hold my paintbrush up higher and then just kind of come in. And just kind of fill in this blue. Just kind of come back in here and fill that all in. Now, once that line is down, I like to come in and just kind of give more strokes of how mountains would be, because mountains are definitely not just fill it in. It's more, there's peaks, there's not valleys, but there's low points, there's higher points. And so we're gonna make that point a bit higher. So we just use this picture as our guideline and our inspiration, and we go off of it. Now, if you were doing a realist, picture like a photograph would be, and that's a completely different situation. But this is our more impressionist, that we just want to get the essence of these mountains. And then it doesn't matter too much about the peaks because we're going to bring in a little bit of snow. And so we'll be good. Okay, I think that is looking nice. Let's see. Okay, so now we are ready to fill in our last row of tulips, and then we'll come in with our snow. We'll let that dry a little bit. Okie dokie. Okay, so I'm going to be using my pink, my bright pink is my last color. And once in a while you get kind of a big blob on accident. That's okay. Just instead of going back into your paint, just take from there. Like the old painting teacher, Bob Ross. There's no mistakes. There's just happy accidents. Okay, so we've got our last layer. Now let's see if we're dry enough to fill in some mountain snow. Okay, I'm just going to take my palette, bring my palette over here. Like I said, I've got my dry scruffy brush, and I'm just going to kind of come in with some snow. Now with snow, it's usually more so in the peaks, and then it lessens as you come down. We're not trying to be perfect or do magnificent snow, it's just the essence of snow. Just leave a little bit of space to the imagination. And then we're going to leave the lower section kind of free of snow because there's not so much snow down there. Now I got a little bit of wet blue paint on there, so I'm just going to dry it off and then kind of scruff around my brush again. Just because I don't want much water on there. Bring a little bit of snow down here. Now you can take any picture for inspiration. If you want some tulips in Denmark and have the windmills in the backgrounds, if you want just a whole complete row of tulips and just a sunset, you can do whatever you want. I just happened to find this picture on Camino My Way and I loved it. I love the mountains. I love the tulips, and so what a perfect combo for me. Or you can take this picture and just, you know, make something else up in your landscape background. You don't have to copy what I do. Just showing you techniques and how to get started and follow your own way, because that's what makes it awesome, is being you. I'm just going to bring some snow down here. And I'm bringing in a little bit of a light blue to just kind of shade in a touch. And just kind of bring that illusion of a shadow. Bit of a dry brush. Oh, too much blue. So now I'm just going to come back with my paintbrush and white, and I'm kind of going to do like how we did with the sky, and just kind of bring in a little, just so we don't see as much of the paint strokes on the snow. We just want to bring that illusion of the snow, that essence of the snow. Okay, I think we are good to go. And so we've got our beautiful landscape with our mountain range, our snowy mountains, and our spring is here. The snow is melting towards the bottom, and we've got our tulips and a little bit of hints of sky, and I think it is awesome. And so we've got our inspiration photograph and our landscape. And so I think we have created quite a beautiful landscape. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. See you next time.
Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and hit that subscribe button right down there in the bottom right corner, and hit the bell button if you want to receive notifications for when I post weekly videos. I'd love to hear from you. Please comment below if you have any questions or ideas for videos that you would like to see in the future. Have a great day.